Okay, so parts laid out here for issue 29 of the Ferrari F40 build, and this is going to be a mega build by the looks of things. The whole magazine is dedicated to just building up these parts onto the engine. Lots and lots of detailed instructions, so this could take quite a while, but I've checked them all off on the inventory. They're all there. I might have to measure some of these pipes as we go through, but yeah, I'm kind of stalling here because I'm not really looking forward to this. This is lots and lots of small pipes going onto this engine, and it's pretty terrifying, to be honest. But hey, we're going to get into it and see how long this takes, but it could be quite a long video. Wait and see after the edit. But yeah, let's get into the build for the terrifying issue 29. Okay, the engine's been in storage for a wee while in a box that I've got, so I'm just having a quick check over, making sure all the little cylinder head pins are still in and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be moving this around quite a lot. Right, the first thing it's telling us to do is on the left hand side of the engine, just above the oil pan, there's a rectangular protrusion apparently. Attach detail A. It's just there. The rectangular protrusion. And part A is this part here from the quite a nice detailed part. It doesn't say super glue or anything like that. It kind of says it's just going to kind of in. Trying to make sure I get the right way around. Probably have to go one way. So yeah, moving this around. Okay, so that's in there. Yeah, so that's in quite nicely there. Insert end of pipe B in the hole of detail A. So pipe B is this one here, so it's the 2. Okay, so pipe B is the 1, the 2. Okay, and I'm just trying to identify, okay. It's the lower hole. So on that part we've just fitted. Jesus. On that part we've just fitted, it's the lower of the 2 holes. It'll be that one there. This is going into. I'm just trying to identify if there's a particular way. Don't think there is. Okay. So this part here is showing you got a kind of. So this pipe here, and feed that through the engine a bit first. Okay, so feed that through the engine first and kind of bring that pipe over. Yeah, okay. That goes in a bit better that way. So feed that pipe, lower that 2 pipes through the hole or whatever it is, can't remember. Feed that through and then bring that in like that. So that kind of sits in quite nicely. But yeah, feed that pipe through and then that'll go over the top as well. Okay, connect pipes B received last issue, so 28. So there is a bit of this where we're going to have to identify pipes from previous issues. So let me have a look. Pipes, which pipes? That's 28. So I kept them in bags, as you can see. So they've got, and this little thing tells you what issue it's from. So this is from 28. So this is all the pipes I got in 28, and it's identifying to the pipes I got in 28. So these are what the pipes look like from 28, issue 28. And it's popping the engine over if I don't lose any of these cylinder head bolts, I'll be amazed. Popping the engine over and then just fixing these on the engine block here. I think they're both the same size, so they just kind of fit onto these little protrusions here. I was going to say, if I don't knock anything off or break anything on this issue, I'll be truly amazed, because something's already come off the engine block. And I've lost a pin, a cylinder head bolt, first one. I was always, when we did these originally, really thinking about gluing them in, but I really didn't want to, and maybe I should have done. Doesn't want to go in, this doesn't. Nope, I lost a pipe. Found there that one went in a bit easier than the other to one side. I couldn't get, but then again it doesn't look like the picture now, because that's bending that way. It's actually got a bit confusing because I think one of them's straight. Oh, they go into the turbo anyway, so we're going to find out in a minute if they'll reach. Yeah, they'll reach okay. So, yeah, one definitely went in easier on one side than the other. I couldn't get that one to fit into that side, so I swapped them around, and that worked for me because that one is now fitting into there. The one wouldn't go in at all into that side, and then as it says there, yeah, they're then going. These ends are then going into the turbo. I'm actually going to try and do this the other way around, I think. I'm going to try and put this into the turbo pipe first. Into the turbo, sorry, first. Right, so put that into the turbo first. Okay. So I know it does it to do it the other way on the thing, but I put that into the turbo first and then that into there. It was much easier than trying to put it into the turbo the other way around for me. Okay, now this one, I'm not too sure, this one don't look too bad to be honest on this side. So that was instruction number 3 and 4, which was fitting these turbo pipes in. Yeah, I found it easier to put it, this one especially, into the turbo first and then into there. So that's that done. That's 4, which is going to be a long build. Once again, I need some more pipes from 28. This is D, E and F from 28, so the longer pipes. And I have to go and get issue 28 to find out which one was D, E and F. 80, so 80, 85 and 65. So D, E and F, I've recovered another look at the magazine. So D looks like it's the longer, thinner pipe. E is the longer, thick pipe, and F is the short, thick pipe. So, the first thing it says to do, insert tube D, which is the short, which is the long thin pipe. So it says to insert D in the hole that is indicated in the image. So here's the, I'm trying to work it out from the image. Okay, yeah, we've got that back. So I'm going to put it that way. And there should be a hole. Whereabouts? Oh, it's right down in the engine. It's a bad time for focus. So there's a hole. There we go. So that hole there is actually in the engine box. It looks, the angle of the photograph isn't the greatest. So it says just to insert this into that hole. Before it goes in, but it's done. F, which is a short, thick one. And the hole just there. That's a bit easier to see, I think. It says. These are really difficult to identify. Camera, can you see that one? It's just kind of hidden there. And then that's just a short, thick one. It's going to go into there. And finally fit the E, which is the long, thick one. That goes onto a little pin at the side there. Small pin on the side of that. Just there. Okay. Okay, so that's fitted onto there. Yep. So we got pipe going into there, pipe going into there, and pipe going into there. And then we've got this tiny little detail A part, I think it is. So detail B, which is the tiny little silver part you got with this issue. Tiny. And I'm just trying to work out where that's going to go. Check position. You've just got to really just look at it and try to identify it from the pictures. Okay. I think I've identified where that is. You've got the part here. Yeah, and there's a tiny little hole just there. You got this part that's fitted here. It's silver in the picture, but it's black, and we know that was a change to the. The easier way to do it: take this part off, fit it to the part. Okay, that was really, really tough to fit in. Well, eventually I got it. It's actually a D-shaped pin. I'm not taking it out to know, but it was actually a D-shaped pin, and it will only go in. So I've take the part off. That's my advice. Take the part off, fit it, and then refit the part. Unless of course you glued it. That just fell off. Just fell off. I'm going to check these ones out because I think this may be the wrong way around. Yeah, it was right. That's too thick a cable to go onto this, or a hose, or whatever you want to call it. It'll sit on, but wait. I may have to glue that. Okay, anyway, so that's that tiny part that's gone onto that part there. Attach the cable in place. What cable? So it says 2908, check the position against the picture, press fit the detail, be in place, done that. Attach the cable in place using the silver coloured plug. Okay, that's not the greatest. You have to probably identify it from the picture. Okay, I'll have to identify that from the picture. I believe it's this one. And that goes on, and there's a hole there, that part. And this is going to attach to, I guess. So that's on. This looks like it goes underneath the turbo pipes, to be fair, from the picture. I'll wait on the picture and what we do on the picture. Now we're bringing over these parts we had, suction bases, what they're called. Connect the cables to the suction bases. Suction horn cables ×2. So these are these ones, I believe. And they're going to be fitted to, there's a little area there. Yeah. Very kind of assuming it's just going to fit onto there. Okay, so that's what them two look like. Then these are going onto the motor. That hose that we put on a minute ago, I am going to put that underneath the turbo cables. Hoses, sorry. And this, I think it's going to be, no, it's not going to be covered up yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to glue that on. It's not staying on at all. No. Okay. Now these are going to go onto the engine. Just trying to work out which way around we go. And if it matters which one goes where. Yeah, it does. Because that one doesn't look right that way. But that one looks like the picture that way. So, blue pipe. Blue pipe going that way, and that going round. Front of the engine's that way. Right, I'm going to have to, this hose is coming off all the time, so is this one. So I'm cracking out super glue. Just waiting for that to dry. Super glue that in. I'm looking at the picture and it kind of shows it bending round, which is going to be an absolute nightmare. Because this isn't staying on very well at all, this hose. It's too thick for the pin. So it's this one here, this hose here. It's too thick for this pin. I'm about to glue it on. It's just not staying on. And then you've got to try and bend it round. And bending it round is going to be an absolute nightmare because it's not staying on very well. And it just pings off. Right, I'm doing Alf. I'm not happy with that at all. I don't think that's right. So I'm going against the instructions. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's, I don't know. Okay, so just to recap on what I did there, what you're supposed to have is you're supposed to have the thin one in there, thick one and thick one. Now I can't get that thick one to sit onto that pipe there. So what I've done is I've removed the thin one that's in there and put it on there. I'm going to see if that works better. It seems to be staying on the pipe better. And hopefully it will go on to wherever it's going to go on to. But I can't get the thick pipe to stay onto that gold piece, whatever it is. Okay, they're on about as good as I can get them for now. I may have to move them later on, but that is not easy so far at all. Putting those banks of whatever they are on suction basis, not easy. Not easy at all. Quite hurty. Insert the cables coming from suction bases onto the pins on the coolant pipes. It's one of these ones where you're trying to identify it from the picture. Okay. Yeah, I think I've got it. Yep. Wow, this is going to be very difficult to see on camera. I don't know how I'm going to even try to film this, but you can just about see them. So the pipes coming from the suction bases are going to basically curl around and go onto some tiny little pins. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, it's so difficult to see. Yeah. You see that? It just basically these pipes come round. You see this pipe here, comes round and goes onto. There's a little pin on this grey part. Goes onto the back of that. Not easy to see at all. Okay, connect the suction cables as shown. So we've got suction cables coming off there. So once again, probably quite difficult to see. But yeah, okay, you can just about see, I think. So the cable comes round from here, round all of this. And into the opposite side. Well, I'll have to do this and then show you after I've done it. It's kind of showing that you're supposed to be able to feed these in, but they're too thick. I'm going to try and open up the hole a little bit in between us. So that's too thick to go into the hole that it's meant to go into. Suffice to say, so far, this issue is awful. Making sure I am getting the right, and I am. It's the ones that I want, but it's absolutely impossible due to the fact that these pipes are too thick to go into where they're telling you to put them into. There's no two ways about it. Needs glue. I'm afraid you cannot get that to sit in. Nightmare. Connect tube 1 from 25. Okay, so now I'm going to get some stuff over from issue 25 that I kept in bags. So that's 25, isn't it? Yep, 25. So this is tube 1. Tube 1 from 25 looks like that. So where are we anyway? This is probably not being very good on the camera because of all the very, very close-up parts. But yeah, we're kind of there. We've got lots and lots of different tubes and hoses and all sorts kind of connected. Some of them going on well, some of them not going on well at all. Got to glue a couple. But we are at now tube number 1 from 25 and install it on the power unit. There are 3 attachment points. Okay, so I think this one, yeah. So this pipe, this part goes onto there, this part goes onto there, it then wraps underneath the engine somehow, and that part goes on somewhere around there. But let's get these 2 parts on first. Got little Jubilee clips type thing, so I'm going to put them facing the front as it shows. Yep, and that goes round. Kind of goes over everything. Gee, oh, that broke it off. Okay, I'll glue that back on. I have to try and bend this before I put it on, I think. So I'm pre-bending this pipe because it's absolutely ridiculously awful. So pre-bent it. I'm not too sure if that's going to stay on at all. It's absolutely bleeding awful. It's actually pulling out these suction things. That doesn't want to stay in. I don't know what I'm going to do about this pipe, because this pipe is really tough. Alright, what I'm going to do, put that one in first, bring this down, see where it goes in. Comes up through here, gets caught on that, rips out turbo pipes. Awful, if I'm honest. It's just not good at all. You can't get this in because it's pushing out the other stuff. This pipe, this really tough pipe, isn't gonna. Isn't going to work. It just isn't going to work. Yeah, that can go over, I guess. Okay, so that was an absolute nightmare. I mean, I fully know what happened, but absolutely getting that pipe into there because it was straight, bending it over, snapped off both of those pins that it went into. I've had to glue it in, but glue's not really holding. I'll wait and see what it feels, what it ends up like, but I've got it looking about as good as I think I can get it. Yeah, it's not brilliant, I don't think, but yeah, it's because of this one here is straight. It's supposed to have that curve on it. When you look on the build video, it's curved, so it goes in easy, but the one they've given us is straight there, so it comes around, it's absolutely dead straight there, so you can't get it in. Well, it's as good as I've got it, and hopefully it'll hold. Okay. We've got to make the wastegate now, it says. So we've got some parts from 24 and we're going to join it to a tube from 25. So there's the tube from 25. There's parts from 24. This is part. Okay, so yeah, we've got the wastegate here, and it's just quite simply gets pushed together. They're all D pins. D-holes, so they go in only one way. Okay, and once that's together, you're going to take this pipe from 25 and you're going to fit it in. Okay, and that's the turbo, wastegate and pipe. Now we're going to fit that onto the exhausts. I'm just making sure, because I've been working on this for quite a while, I'm just making sure that all of these pipes and things are in. Okay. I'm having a look at this and trying to match it up with the picture with where the pipe and everything goes. The pipe coming off here. I've no idea where it goes. Okay, anyway, wastegate. So the wastegate's going on to the exhaust pipe, and it absolutely is just going to be a nightmare because it's supposed to, all of these turbo pipes, goes on top of them all, over them all. So it's going to pull at least 5 or 6 of them out. This is getting a bit ridiculous now, to be fair. I've been working on this for a long time, most of the day, and it's just, yeah. Okay, let's look. Basically on as best as I can get it. Right, now this part from, I can't remember which, it doesn't even tell you actually. It's just going to go onto these suctions at the top. So you just got to match these up, I guess. You've got pipes coming out all over the place here, but they bring the pipes on the actual real engine. That was just annoying. Getting that on, but once it's on here, it looks pretty good. Okay. Alright, so we need some more pipes from 28. We need one pipe from 28, silver pipe from 28. And that fits on underneath the engine into, just trying to identify this. and then from 25, this silver pipe from 25. Let's go turn the engine over. Uh, 28 again. So that's going to go on to that area, that one there. Just get pushed on. No, there's no way that's fitting on there. That pin is far too big. There is one from 25. Actually, it says 25, it's 28. Sorry, it says 28. It's not. This is very, very confusing. There's no way that that is the, it says, so this is another mistake, if you like, I think, in the book. It says that is tube G from 28. And they're telling me to put that on there. It looks nothing like it. So that's incorrect. It's actually tube 5 from 25, because that'll actually fit properly. So the instructions are wrong again. So it's not tube G from 28, it's tube 5 from 25. Yeah, there's no way that the other tube would fit. Now, I've no idea what that's talking about. The next one, join the group to the end without connector of pipe C attached to this outlet. No idea what that's talking about. I'm just trying to follow the picture. 3 is pipe C. So that's pipe C. Assuming that goes into, so there's a hole just there, you can see it. Assuming, yeah, join the group without the connector, pipe C, into that hole there. That's in, as best as it can be. Hopefully it won't pull out easily enough. Oh, that seems to be in. Okay. Now it's turning it over and we've got these tiny bellows, call them. Yeah. And they're going in underneath the engine somewhere. I can turn it over. Okay, there's a little hole there. A little hole there. These little bellows are going to go into. Okay, once I open the hole a little bit, it went in a bit easier. There's a long plastic part that this is going to go into, fed through. Okay. Right, and finally, there's quite a lot of these small pipes. They're going to be fitting on between the coils and here. So, I'm not too sure the best way to show it, but you've got there to there. You have to do a lot of them. So, but here's the last thing to do, I think, on this. Okay, so that's one on. And I'm going to have to do all the others. So give me a while. Done. Done. Okay, so that was issue 29 done there. Wow, what an absolute issue that was. As I say, the whole magazine was just one big instructions pack. But yeah, eventually we ended up with this, which is actually looking pretty good now. The most detailed engine I think I've done so far in these part builds, but that was very, very difficult. The pipe, that big solid pipe, was probably the hardest part of it, but the whole thing was quite difficult. It was like putting this on the top, the manifolds on the top, everything just fought me. I don't know if everybody else had that kind of issues with it. Obviously there was the few issues with the instructions, with that pipe being labelled wrong, and a few other things such as the wrong labelling for the small pipes from the last issue. Yeah, it just was a bit of a nightmare issue. Challenging, I guess. Some people call it challenging, and I guess it is. And it, you know, we do sometimes whinge that these issues don't actually have much to do in them. So yeah, that was a full-on day that was, doing that whole issue. What have we got coming in issue 30? Hopefully a little bit easier. It's just some dashboard parts, by the looks of things, the brake and clutch pedal, I think, the part for the steering wheel, the control column. But yeah, so that'll be coming out soon, so yeah, keep an eye out for issue 30. Hey, thank you very much for watching my presentation of this issue of Build the Ferrari F40 Competizione. And if you liked the progression of this build, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, you can always give us a thumbs up or pop any comments in the comments box. But hey, hope to catch you again on the channel soon. Take care and ta-ra for now.